My name is David Glorius. In 1967, when I was 6 years old, my parents moved to Langley Park, Maryland, a suburb of Washington, D.C., in a multicultural, lower-income neighborhood. As kids do, I went out and ventured around the neighborhood and came across the elementary school. In the back of the school was a field, and there were 7 or 8 kids playing football on the field. Well, the kids were older and bigger than I was, but they asked me to play anyhow. After a couple hours, the biggest kid, Freddie Haynes, I remember him very distinctly, asked me if I'd be interested in playing competitive sports, organized sports, with the Boys and Girls Club. Well, I didn't know anything about it, being 6 years old and new to the neighborhood, so we went and talked to my father. A couple days later, my father was convinced that it was the right thing for me to do to expand my horizons outside of the family. So we wound up at the Boys and Girls Club 2 days later, and we were registering myself to play on the 60-pound tackle football team. That lasted until the winter time when basketball started. I joined the basketball team. After basketball ended, springtime comes, and of course you go into baseball, so I joined the baseball team. So from 1967 to 1975, that was the circle of activity that the Boys and Girls Club provided me every day after school. When I was about 10 or 11, they implemented a mentoring and counseling program at the Boys and Girls Club to help kids that were having issues with school, with studies, with family, and I was asked to be a part of that team. And I was very flattered to be able to do that because it helped me realize the personal issues that we were having at home with substance abuse weren't solely dedicated to me, that other kids had similar issues. So I was able to provide counseling for those kids, and at the same time it helped me realize that I wasn't the only one that had issues at home. After graduating from college, I had the confidence to explore the world. I took off and traveled to Europe for 4 or 5 months, and I was able to do that because of the confidence that I had built through my experience with the Boys and Girls Club. I learned that it's okay to take risks, it's okay to be independent, it's okay to think big picture, and that's what I did as a result of being at the Boys and Girls Club. I choose to get back to the Boys and Girls Club because it feels good for me, it feels good to me, to know that I can affect 1 or 2 or 5 or 50 kids during my experience at the clubs that I go to volunteer. That was extremely important to me because there were people that gave their time to me as a kid. Now it's my turn to give my time to those kids so that hopefully I can have a positive impact on their life like they did on mine.